You can be religious and be happy and joyful. As I tell them, life is to have fun.
Well, ever since I can remember, I've wanted to be a religious monk. And I always thought of religious life as being a missionary.
Sure, Indian Swami should have been in India, but it's not that India exported me here. Instead, the Americans imported me here.
I came out in Ceylon in 1952, P&O, SS Canton, very beautiful, 2 weeks at sea, marvellous way to travel out to the east.
Brother James Kimpton and Sri Swami Satchidananda come from different spiritual and cultural traditions. What they share in their respective ways is a life dedicated to serving and teaching others. They are gurus, and each has found their vocation in an adopted country. Their journeys have involved crossing cultural divides that separate East and West.
I got on this train, typical Tamil train, 5 hours late, very hard, slatted bunk. People all around talking at the top of their voices, having a quiet conversation in Tamil, all night long. And there was a brother at the Madurai station waiting to meet me. He'd been waiting the 5 hours, and he was a bit fed up. And my first words to him were, bloody Indian, bloody railways. But as soon as I got out of the railway station and we drove on into Madurai proper, which is a very Indian and Oriental city, suddenly something happened to me. Suddenly everything clicked. It struck me I'd arrived where I belonged. I'd come home, where everything, all my psyche was directed towards this kind of life.
James Kimpton was born in Conway, North Wales, in 1925. Following his training as a brother in the Catholic de la Salle order, he taught in schools on the south coast of England. In 1952, he went to Ceylon to put his practical teaching skills and experience to good use in the mission field. Sri Swami Satchidananda was born Ramu Gawanda in 1914 in the southern Indian village of Chittipalyam. His interest in mechanics led to early careers in engineering and welding. After the untimely death of his wife, he became devoted to the spiritual life of service to God. In 1949, he became a disciple of the great yoga teacher Swami Shivananda. As his own reputation grew as a spiritual master, Satchidananda was invited to the United States in order that the West might benefit from his teachings.
This was really the trend. It was like the newest thing. There was an awakening really happening that everybody wanted to be awoken.
What it is ain't exactly
the artist Peter Max was part of the 60s hippie culture and was one of those responsible for bringing Satchidananda, or Swamiji, as he's known to his followers, to the West.
And I said to him, I said, Swami, America needs you. And I remember he kind of laughed, he slapped his knee, and he said, why, America needs me? I said, America needs you. And he said, well, if America needs me, maybe I'll come.
Yes, certainly there was a little cultural difference. I could say a mild shock, because I didn't expect that. The first group of people who were around me, they just were lying down on the floor, showing their feet right over my face and blowing cigarette and say, Swami, could you tell us something about yoga?
Swamiji gave the opening address at the Woodstock Rock Festival in 1969.
America leads the whole world in several ways. Very recently, when I was in the East, the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi met me and asked me what's happening in America. And I said, America is becoming a whole. America is helping everybody in the material field, but the time has come for America to help the whole world with spirituality also.
The Christian countries of Western Europe thought it necessary to export their spirituality to the heathens of the East. However, modern India has had its fill of the imposed doctrines of soul-seeking evangelists. The white-faced European missionaries have outstayed their welcome. All but a few have gone home. Those that remain are mostly the community workers, people who can help provide shelter, food, water and medical care in the underdeveloped towns and villages.
Good morning. How are things? My approach to, even in England, had always been looking over the walls of whatever institution I've been in to see the needs of the area where I'm living. I've never accepted that institutions build the big invisible walls around them, which on the inside say keep in, on the outside say keep out.
Since 1974, James Kimpton and his organization have worked among village communities in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu.
So for the first year, we just walked around Kalapati, letting the people know we were around and letting them accept us until we came part of the background of the village, part of the village, and until they began to come forward with their felt needs. And one day we sat with the village elders to talk this over. And one of the first things the village elders said to us, they said, look, don't think you're doing anything marvelous in this area. You're English, and you British people exploited India. And really, whatever you're going to do, or what you're already doing, is just it's just you're giving back to us what you took away from the country. So don't think it's anything really special, which was a come down for me.
But what James is able to offer the people certainly want. Huts with bamboo roofs afford little protection against severe weather. Kimpton's brick and tile villa-style houses may appear modest, but for the villagers, they are comfortable homes and much in demand.
So my whole approach changed from just being a mere teacher in a grammar school in Colombo to doing something about the abject poverty that was all around us. Not always visible in the towns, but very visible in the villages. And all that has happened, what we were dreaming about, all that has taken place.
When a home is ready for occupation, there is a ceremonial housewarming. Coconut, salt, saffron and milk are offered as symbols of good fortune. Whenever possible, James attends, offering his personal blessings. Such noble works, without any outward sign of evangelism, tempt the inevitable question. Isn't it the missionary's job to convert? Isn't that the real motive behind his work?
I'm anti-evangelization. We're anti-conversion. We've not had a single conversion in all the 10, 11 years we've been working in this area. Our belief is that all religions ultimately worship the same supreme divinity. And one of my own deep beliefs is that God has presented himself to the different cultures, incarnated himself, if you wish, in whatever way, to the different cultures to suit that culture. So in India, it would be in an Indian form.
India has been the home not only to its own spiritual traditions, but historically has embraced and accommodated others with apparent ease. Hinduism and Buddhism are noted for their tolerant approaches to religious life, and it's not difficult for Christianity and Islam to find a legitimate place within India's spiritual universe. James's own faith finds expression in a small Catholic chapel in the village.
Right now we're in the village of Chettipalayam, where Swami Satchidananda was born, and in fact this is the very house he was born in this room right here. I'm in India for two reasons. First of all, it's where I knew I always belonged, and it's been a long time getting back home, and Gurudev's devotees here in India would like to have someone here to teach integral yoga. When I was a young child, I remembered having lived in India before. And in fact, I even told my parents that I came from another country and why did they take me away from there. And they, of course, being normal American parents, didn't understand what I was talking about. And then finally, a year later, I saw the first Indian lady in my life wearing a sari. And I grabbed my mother's hand and I said, "Mommy, Mommy, that's where I came from. I lived in that country and I used to dress that way." And so she was completely baffled. She said, "You don't know anything about India, that lady is from India." I said, "No, I lived there before, I want to go home." So basically I always felt that India was my home, and I spent most of my life trying to get back here or finding what I felt was here. And I feel very blessed that when I was in my early 30s, I found Swami Satchidananda and the ashram in the same state where I was living, and I felt that India had been brought to me.
Hi, I'm Trooper Jim DeFord. This Memorial Day weekend, protect yourself and your loved ones when traveling. Don't drink and drive, and always buckle your safety belt. A safety message from the Virginia State Police and the all-new Country 102 WCYK.
The last 6, 7 years, they've been constantly moving in.
Well, I didn't know anything about them until they moved in here.
They're nice people. They seem to tend to their business. And you say leave you on alone. Yes, sir. And they'll do you a favor? Yes, sure. No, I don't find no fault of them at all. Not a bit.
Balance is yoga. If your life is well balanced, mind is always balanced, not getting caught in these ups and downs. Because life is always filled with ups and downs. In the midst of ups and downs, you maintain your balance. That's yoga.
Buckingham County, Virginia, is the unlikely base for Swami Satchidananda's Integral Yoga Institute. The thick woodland has been cleared to make space for an almost self-sufficient community, a spiritual haven away from the stress of modern living. 2 decades after Woodstock, Swamiji is attracting followers from all over the states, who come to experience an alternative lifestyle in Yogaville.
Well, originally we started with a couple of families and started teaching and having programs. It's developed into an ashram retreat center, which of course has its programs. We have a general store, a fine arts society that presents cultural programs. We have an audio-video department, book distribution department. Some of the local people have started a construction company. Of course, we have the activities of the ashram, which are the programs and the retreats.
Please bring the feet together, removing any long hair or anything from around the neck as we prepare for Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. Have the arms beside the body.
Traditional yoga techniques are taught and have been adapted to suit everyone, from the stressed-out businessman to the out-of-condition grandmother.
Continue the legs on overhead, lifting the buttocks, the legs come overhead, support the back with the hands, and raise the legs directly into the air.
You have to do it when you are in Rome. You don't have to become a Roman, but at least behave like a Roman. So the customs are different here. So we modify it a little without losing the principle. There is an old saying, the same old wine in a new bottle. See? If you give the same wine in the same old bottle, nobody will buy it. Change the bottle, but keep the wine. That's how we adapt. And even some of the Hatha Yoga practices are not really fit all the practices for the Western bodies. Western bodies are very different, and their food that they got used to puts more tension in the body. So we did really modify a lot, and I don't hesitate to make those modifications as long as it doesn't lose the life part in it.
We don't do much promotion as far as trying to advertise we're here and have people come to be here. We let it be known that we're here, and we have a mailing list for people who've been here, and we send out to those people. But pretty much people find their way here, and if more people find their way here, we'll grow. If not, we'll stay the same.
What you do comes back to you. What you sow, you reap. So do the right thing in the present and don't worry about the future. The people who worry about the future miss the present as well. You have something right now. You have it in the hand, something nice to eat. Don't think, oh, what will happen if I'm hungry tomorrow? By the time you find that out, someone will have taken your food from you. Always remember the golden present. Never miss it. A happier life is not given to you by someone else. Not even God can give you a happier life. Remember that.
A happier life for the people of Kalupati is possible through the availability of work. Reaching the unreached concentrates on creating labor-intensive cottage industries and has turned away opportunities to mechanize. This modest textile industry is run as a cooperative and provides jobs for over 100 villagers. In this way, the community can begin to look after its own needs and become less dependent on foreign and government aid.
We're now working towards, very quietly, towards self-sufficiency, because any time the government could stop foreign funds. But certain parts of our work would just have to stop if the foreign funds stopped. water supplies and housing. We'd like to keep things like medical and schools and that going.
James sees education as an important investment in the future and has built schools for the village children. Yoga breathing exercises prepare the children for their school day, as well as keeping them in touch with their own culture.
We started this foster family project for abandoned babies, foundling babies, or babies that would have been killed because of female infanticide all over this area, or other children that have suddenly lost their parents, like this group here. In this particular case, about a year ago, the mother and father burnt themselves to death. The mother was carrying this little boy. The father came in and poured kerosene over himself, and then kerosene over the mother, and set a match to himself, and grabbed the mother. She was carrying him, and if you see, he's burnt down all that particular side, all the way down his face and arms. We employ widows, preferably, who have their own children to be the foster mothers, and the family is limited to 5, maximum 5, and we hopefully they will stay together for life. Huh?
Community healthcare in Kalupati begins early in the morning with physiotherapy for the children. Diseases such as leprosy have only recently been eradicated, but their crippling effects still need regular treatment.
Ronnie, you have a look at this case, please. Very bad. Ronnie, you have a look at this. Seems to have broken her leg. We've tried osteomyelitis, huh? It has been operated before somewhere, yeah. Manaba, make sure that this gets to hospital today. There must be no more waiting. Okay. And she needs x-ray, she needs to see a doctor, she has to see a surgeon, and let's find out where we go on from there. But don't wait anymore. Okay. We must go today. I think the very fact that I'm a total outsider from the area, you come in and you see things that local people living with it all the time wouldn't see. And then having also access to resources that I don't think anybody around here will have access to, like donor agencies, powerful friends in the government, at the state level, secretariat level, who are very helpful and want to help us, that level of operation. And very good friends in the West who are ready to fund us on all kinds of things. And without funds, there's no way you can do this kind of work.
Funding from Europe has helped James create projects in housing, medicine, education and water resources. But it has also made him conspicuous.
It's always the danger, as has happened with other foreigners, not necessarily missionaries. They're given a fortnight to move out, and I know many cases where they've been here all their lives and nothing to go away to. They go back to India, nothing in England, everything they have is here in India. Or they go home on leave and they have all their papers clear to come back into India, and they're not allowed out of the airport, but on the plane, next plane, back to where they've come from. This has happened several times, and it's one of my fears, one of the reasons why I don't leave the country, is that this could happen to me. Because whether I like it or not, I'm one of the more noticeable figures in South India.
So it's a physical, concrete symbol to express the goal that we should get united in the name of religion. Then I thought there should be a place to remind that, a permanent place. It is that idea that made me think of lotus.
Lotus, Light of Truth Universal Shrine, is the centerpiece of Yogaville. It was built alongside the James River and financed largely through donations from Swamiji's followers. The one central light illuminates the many shrines, dedicated to all the world religions, and embodies Swamiji's belief in the unity of all faiths.
Well, this is the grand archway, and you see all the symbols there. Each represent a particular faith, major faiths in the middle. So we want to try to cover all the faiths under one roof. Now, these are the offering stones, we call it. This is where you break a coconut with the idea that you are breaking your ego and get yourself cleaned, so that when you walk into the shrine, your vision, your perception will be clean, not colored by your ego. This is a meditation cave where we first laid the foundation. I'll just open it and you'll see. See here, the very center of the floor, we had a 16-inch cube, a box like. Those days we called it gem box. It contains all the holy objects from various holy places all over the world. There is even a small rock from the moon. So it has tremendous vibration, very healing vibration. We hear people saying, even when they come with a lot of pain, maybe heart pain, cancer pain, whatever it is, they just come and sit around here, the ground floor or upper floor, and they feel no pain at all. They feel so healed. So it has a lot of healing power, and I attribute that to the vibrations of the holy objects from all over the world.
We also have, in addition to things like the food store and the construction company, we have fire departments. Some of the members are on the local rescue squad. And we do a program at Christmas time called Christmas in Buckingham, which is to provide presents and food for some of the poor people in the community. So we also feel very much involved with community services.
Open your valve.
Smoking in Yogaville is prohibited. Other ground rules, such as no meat and no alcohol, are also observed. This kind of alternative community is similar to James Kimpton's Kalupati in that it shares a quest for self-sufficiency. The vegetables eaten in the dining hall, for example, come from Yogaville's own organic garden.
Now, keep it the same size.
The Integral Yoga School caters for the educational needs of youngsters between kindergarten and high school age. The teaching focuses on the process of direct experiential learning that reflect yoga principles such as non-violence, a spirit of dedication, and universal brotherhood. Yogaville is essentially a retreat, an alternative to Western-style consumer society, maybe even an escape.
When you have problems, people go and have a peg of whiskey and sleep. Is it not escapism? You are escaping from your problems, but not running away. Yoga teaches you to face the problem, analyze it, solve it, not to run away. In fact, what good of your yoga if it could be practiced only in the Himalayan cave? Enjoy everything. Enjoy your money. You know how to use the money if you become a good yogi. If you become a good yogi, you know how to use your political power, your business, everything. How could make your family comfortable and better. So yoga is a thing that can apply into everyday life.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you. You're a little heavy today. Oh, it's wonderful weather, huh?
Yes, beautiful day.
Good. Did you check everything?
Everything's checked.
Check.
Plenty of fuel.
Good.
Much of Swamiji's time is spent traveling. He responds to invitations which come from as many integral yoga centers throughout the world, and also from various other groups that know and respect his teachings.
And here's your seat.
During his travels, he has met with many of the world's religious and spiritual leaders. Lotus Airways' fleet of 2 Cessna light aircraft provides short hops to the nearest airport and beyond.
I'm gifted in many ways. I have all kinds of talents, which I'll have to answer for to the Lord eventually.
One of James's many talents is his uncanny ability to find water in apparently dry areas of land. His 95% success record as a water diviner has made him much in demand in the villages, some of which are in the 11th year of drought.
Normally I'll go into a village and I'll ask the people, where do you want water? And they'll point out an area. And I'll stand in that area and draw a site plan myself. Stand in, just look around and draw a whole lot of landmarks in a small notebook. And on that notebook, I will then, with the pendulum, divine all the water that's available. Every stream is available in that area, but on that notebook. So I now know where the streams are.
So we go down the other side now. Now I want a stream, oh lucky, we've got a stream that's going to cross these 3 streams. We've already found 3 streams. Which way are you going? Okay, across this way. Good place. People will be happy. See if there's any more. Yes, another stream. Where are you going? Behind the temple. Okay. Now for me that's enough. Let's go and find the water. First stream crossing. There. Can you put a stone here? And we're going on for the next stream now. Second stream. And it's here. Somewhere there. Down the caliper, in the caliper. Now they can choose the last village, which one, that one or that one, and then I'll precisely mark it.
The
birth is same. Now I'll mark it precisely. It has to be marked to within an inch in black granite. You can miss the water with an inch. Okay. That's it. So they've chosen this one. The very remote villages we're going to, they see this white man, and a lot of the children especially have never seen a white man before. Some of the adults have. And they see him come into the village and step out of the car and pull out this crystal pendulum, which I must admit is purposely chosen to make it attractive, because it flashes rainbows. And they see me step out and start drawing this map and drawing red lines on the map and finding all these streams. They're just aghast at this. And then they see me immediately go and pinpoint the place, and then there's the drilling rig waiting to push me off. And within a matter of 10 hours, they see water gushing out of the ground, 150 feet down, a dead, dry piece of land. A lot of the villagers will think that I'm some kind of a god, a Devan, and they say that. And even in these local villages, the older women, especially the older women, tell me that I'm their god, which is very embarrassing, and I keep pushing and keeping it arm's length.
With the rig in place, it is James's ceremonial duty to start the drill. Depending on the depth at which the stream runs, it may take anything from 6 to 24 hours before they hit water.
Focus more on a person's self-development, so they become healthy cells in the body of God. In a way, that's a social service. If you can make a cell healthy and living for the good of the whole, you've done your part in a social way also. In other words, religious development has a very much a social repercussion. You work with the individual and society will take care of itself.
A guru is probably the most important thing that can happen to planet Earth. I think this big environmental movement that happened out of America just now has a lot to do with several of the gurus who've come here. Certainly in my experience with Satchidananda, it has to do because he inspired us with goodness. He inspired us with service. He inspired us with purity. He inspired us with loving ourselves, loving others, loving other creatures. And I think since, as the gurus came into America, as Satchidananda came to America, at the same rate, I think peace occurred in the world. I mean, this is how I perceived it. It may be his work, it may be works of others, but it's a spiritual work as a whole. As the spiritual work came west, you know, it manifested itself into the people. And the people that he touched, certainly their directions changed.
You can have this one. You can have.
Okay, thank you.
So we're down at 125 feet now. We've reached the first stream at 70 feet, and the amount of water you see coming out is what's available, about half an inch, enough for a hand pump. Now they're going to go down as far as we want, at 250 feet, but I think we'll get water about 150, 160 feet. The strongest stream running this way.
Is it rain? Huh? So nobody will go out now. Whatever I say, you have to hear me because you got stuck. That is nature's karma yoga. The sun shines, rain pours.
Saturday night in Yogaville is Satsang night, a community gathering where Swamiji expounds his teachings. His address is relayed around the building and the event videotaped.
You are looking for praise. You don't want anybody to blame you. And if one person is enough to make you burst into anger, and who knows, you might even faint. The knower can never become the known. It's a law. The seer can never become the seen. You cannot be the subject and the object at the same time. I'm not even talking, it's my mind. I'm not even thinking, it's my mind thinks. I'm neither happy nor unhappy, but it's my mind, sometimes happy, sometimes unhappy. Wrong identity.
When the borehole is complete, the new well is capped and the pump assembled. This is another event considered special by the villagers, who wait eagerly for the first gush of water.
I think what keeps me in this work here is my contact with the everyday people, the simple little people, especially the children. And I've told folk at home that I'm not coming back. And my own people understand this, my own family members understand that I'm not coming back. And they don't pressurize me at all. And nobody now in the West is pressurizing me. So everybody knows I've made my mind up. I'm staying out here, and that's it. I haven't been home for 20 years. I'm more Indian than English in some ways.
It's not that sometimes people say, when are you going back to India? Why to back to India? Wherever I am, this is my India in a way. So if they don't need me, I'm ready to go wherever people need me. There are many people looking for it. But these people are making me so happy, proud in a way. Oh yes, I'm very happy, very proud.
America may be the land of the free, where anything goes. But there are limits to the liberties that can be taken in any free society. the misconduct and eventual prosecution of spiritual teachers like Rajneesh has caused attention to be focused on the many cults that reside in the US. Such organizations know that if they do not observe the accepted code of behavior, they could be the next to fall. Swami Satchidananda's integrity and his respect for the law of his adopted country has kept the Integral Yoga Institute free from such adverse attention. But in India, the past has left a more indelible impression.
Even innocent people, unfortunately, suffer under the burden of all that missionaries have done in the past. So Indians look at missionaries with a certain amount of suspicion. Even if no one's trying to convert them, they're terrified that there is a proselytizing motivation.
I have been told that I'm under constant surveillance by the police. And when I know that they're in the village, which is not always the case, because it's very easy to dress up, they come and see me, but only after they've been round the various parts of the village checking on me for most of the time conversions. They're trying to pin on me that I'm converting Hindus to Christianity. It's only the Hindus to Christianity, and the Muslims, that don't matter.
The influx of foreign money and the fact that James, through education, has empowered the villages may cause the authorities some discomfort. But the local government recognizes that they have common aims and have commissioned James's organization, Reaching the Unreached, to carry out water and housing projects. Despite his desire to integrate into the community, it is doubtful whether James will ever become politically invisible. He is, as he says, one of the more noticeable figures in southern India.
What they have is a physical poverty, but a spiritual wealth. What we have is a physical wealth, but a spiritual and emotional poverty, which in a lot of ways is worse. What Mother Teresa says from her work is that the disease of loneliness in the West is worse.
In the land of conspicuous consumption, emotional isolation and a lack of spiritual fulfillment have left a vacuum. Bound as they are by tradition and dogma, the institutionalized religions of the West have often failed to come up with the spiritual goods. Eastern philosophies offer immediate answers. India's own spiritual tradition has maintained a vitality and dynamism. Their teachers promise direct religious experience without claiming that they are the only way. But it is not the holy men that wander around the temples of India who will be the next generation of Swamis in the West. Whether the youngsters of Yogaville will be able to enlighten the world or not will depend very much on their ability to adapt, adjust, and accommodate. The world beyond Yogaville has a very different set of values. The challenge may well be whether they can integrate in a less accommodating society. Swami Satchidananda has done much to bridge the cross-cultural divide. He has introduced a new vision in his adopted homeland. He has touched and changed lives.
Thank you. Wonderful. I don't think there is anything for me to achieve now. I have achieved already. Or not even, when you achieve means something you get. No, I didn't get anything. If I get something, I may lose that again. But I'm having my peace and joy always. There's nothing more than that I look forward. There's nothing for me to achieve.
Let me say that unless I can get into my day 2 hours of personal spiritual life, I don't think I could survive. I've always operated on the principle of giving 1/10 of my day to God. And without that, I don't think I could survive.
So in the meanwhile, things may come, they go, I just sit and watch. The sun shines always, clouds may come, dark clouds, white clouds, thin clouds, scattered clouds, and they just pass on. The sun smiles at them. Oh, you try to hide me? Fine, wonderful. So I watch the whole thing as fun in life.
I don't think there's any personal reward I want here below. I do get upset sometimes when there's a total lack of gratitude coming back for things we've done, or a lot of trouble we've taken over things. And there's no show of gratitude, which is very, very common. Occasionally I do get upset about that, and it hurts. But I don't think I want any reward.